work in terms of theory. And we are telling them we are on the ground practically. Let's put the practical issues, consider the practical issues and see.
We'll come to the practical issues. Let me just go to Mr. Henry Yao Mallet. He's the executive member, Ghana-China Friendship Association. But before then, Gold Coast Fund Management is a reputable fund management that has won 2 awards as the best financial advisory company 2011-2012. It is the only investment bank that has branches all over Ghana. You should invest with Gold Coast Fund Management for a good return. Call them on 050-129-4893. 050-129-4893. First National Savings and Loans are also at our aid. The People's Bank, First National Savings and Loans Bank, has branches across the country. Coconut Grove Hotel is also part of us. Big salute to the 3 companies. Now you can still send your WhatsApp message to 0562907121. I'll keep mentioning that. And those of you who have been very consistent, you can just start sending a message. This is about Guta. Should they go? Should they stay? Mr. Henry Mallet, I want to find out, Ghana-China Friendship Association, what do you do?
Okay, thank you very much. And I must say it's a good afternoon, good evening to your viewers. And happy to be on your program. I think this is the first time I'm here. And I think I should say I'm glad to be here.
All right.
Especially discussing this topic that you've raised.
Very sensitive.
But to tell you, I don't see it very sensitive at all.
Well.
Yeah, it's not sensitive at all. I'll tell you that Ghana-China Friendship Association was established by His Excellency Kojo Amo Gottfried, who was one-time ambassador of Ghana to the People's Republic of China when he ended his tour of duty. There had been an attempt before he came back, and then in 1999 he got this association going to deepen, not only to deepen, but to strengthen or to bring Ghanaians and Chinese people to better understanding of each other's culture and ways of doing things, especially even in business or personal relationships. And if you look at it, there's so much to learn, and one cannot even finish learning. Even if you want to learn the Mandarin to perfect it, it takes 50 years to learn it. So there is much to understand about each other and to be able to be at a common place to operate. We have been trying to do this, and we have been trying to deepen our friendship, especially through business, where we are trying to woo Chinese investors on a bigger scale to come into manufacturing and tourism. Only yesterday we organized a tourism forum for stakeholders to see how best we can attract the Chinese outbound traffic.
That's very important, because Kenya is ripping the big time.
Even Kenya is not. South Africa is gone. South Africa has gone ahead to establish what they call South Africa in China, and then China in South Africa. But you see, these are government and private, public and private sector that is working together.
PPP.
Yeah, they're working together to attract, so everybody understands what is going on. It's not that somebody sits down one morning and wakes up to realize that there's somebody at his door who is a neighbor who is a Chinese or somebody else. And we have that problem. But what I want to know or understand about this particular topic, to take out the sensitivity, is if my friend from Good...
We'll come back.
No, I just want to ask him a question, which maybe you can share later.
You can let me ask him.
What is retail business?
That is something that has to be defined.
Yes, and he has to define it within the context of wholesale and distribution.
Those are the things I'm coming to. I don't want to take the wind.
No, I'm just saying.
Provoking the issues. Very important.
Yeah, if we understand it, then we can address the issue properly. Yeah.
But in terms of human relations, what is being done to ensure that the kind of worry or threat, simmering threat, let me put it that way, that in the indigents sometimes have or harbor?
We have
go away. What kind of education
we have
goes on in your,
we're doing a lot. We're doing a lot. We have public programs where we talk about doing business in Ghana in a friendly way, where we attract the Chinese community, and we also have doing business in China a friendly way, where we expect our traders, like members of GUTA who go to China, what they should expect and how they should go about it, and what issues that they come up with. We've been having this thing for the past, I think, 4 or 5 years, which is a quarterly program. Okay. And we've been having other forums or fora in the other areas, like what we had yesterday. We also have engaged our, let me call them collaborators in China, the China Africa People's Friendship Association, to see how best we can have the capacity to be able to deepen this friendship between the two countries. And they also identifying other sources or opportunities that they think that could help in to the better understanding of our this thing. But to put it the other way around, we've realized that there's need to establish a cultural center, okay, where language should be taught to both sides. Language communication has become a big problem. When you speak, the way we speak, even Ghanaians, when we speak, somebody might be speaking as an Ashanti, they're speaking English. Yeah. The meaning could be better understood when the person who is speaking to is a Twi-speaking person. Okay. So we have that problem. Yeah. Then, so if you speak to a Chinese and you tell him so many things, he will understand it the way he must understand it. But it's not the way you think he should understand it. So we have that communication problem. And the question is, how do we address these things here? So there's a need to have this cultural center where language, even what is spoken in the street, should be taught. And then they also must be made to...
some serious orientation.
Yes, yeah. We need to, on a continuous basis. Yeah. Because...
How do you ensure that what you're doing here is replicated far back, maybe China or the Ghana High Commission to China is trying to do some of these things to give the necessary orientation before a Chinese comes into this country?
You know, the Chinese have a website. I've forgotten the name, but it has about 300 million hits a day. So any negative thing, for example, that goes out any part of the world is over there replicated. That gives serious repercussions, depending upon the understanding of it. Now, that aside, there are websites from the Chinese embassy and others which try to project how, when they come, they should obey the laws of the country. Right. The issue about obeying laws of any country is paramount.
All right. When you go to Rome,
yes, you must do what the Romans do. Very, very important. Yeah. And they are being taught to obey the laws of every country. Yeah. If you go to China and you misbehave,
you'll be dealt with.
You'll be dealt with. Not because
discipline is key for development.
Exactly. You'll be dealt with. And even Chinese, the police in China don't carry guns, but they are the most feared.
Yes. You watch their media, you realize that it's a very difficult society.
The culture must begin from us here to know what we're talking about.
Well, on the issue of discipline, I'll just halt and get to Mr. Abraham Koomson. General Secretary, once again, you're welcome.
Thank you.
How do your union relate to unions such as GUTA and China Friendship Association? Do you have a common ground? How do you collaborate to ensure that you are all moving at the same rhythm?
We've heard of GUTA. Sometimes we meet at some, platforms, and unfortunately, they've not come over to affiliate to our center, GFL.
Right. Do you have to come to them, or you are the bigger
umbrella? We have Textiles Union, that I'm the general secretary. We have an umbrella body called Ghana Federation of Labour.
Okay.
As it's like the Ghana TUC.
Yeah.
And we have affiliates. We have about 11 affiliates now.
Okay.
And so we will, urge them
right.
to come over.
Okay.
And that will strengthen them to deal with these challenges that are confronting them.
Are you talking about Gachifa, the Ghana China Friendship, or
No. Good time. Many of the unions. How you are
your Chinese?
Because I believe that you should have a common ground where you all operate. Because at a certain point, especially with the unions, I believe that whatever Guta is pursuing now is also in your interest. To a certain degree.
Maybe we will have to.
We'll come to that.
After this program, we have to, get in touch with them and see how we can, for the Chinese and Ghanaian friendship that Mr. Mallet is talking about. I think we must look at the positive side of it.
Okay.
It's not just about language, because these guys. You see, if we enter into any...
Not to go into the Chinese thing, but are you comfortable with the situation for which we've met? What Guta is pursuing now?
Guta has...
Are you in support of it?
Yes,
have you looked at it?
Why not?
Because it's
why not?
You are in the textile industry, and to a certain degree, there's been a lot of alarm, red flag raised about your area collapsing because of infiltration of whatever unprescribed, or let me say, smuggled in goods,
now,
which is threatening your industry.
At this forum, I'll put on the Federation cap.
Okay.
For the textile cap, let me, push it on, but we'll come to that.
All right.
But with the issue of Guta, I have to put on the Ghana Federation of Labour cap.
Okay.
Because we are concerned and worried so much. Because if Chinese people will come here and come and sell ice kinky, you see them, you see a Chinese man pushing truck loaded with, bottles of ice kinky and selling these things in town. I can't just understand why this should go on.
Because maybe you are not prepared to do it the way it must be done. It's about
entrepreneurship. No, there are laws in this country.
Yes.
You can't go to anybody's country and go and start doing business that is meant for the indigenous.
Well, because Guta is spearheading this agenda of getting rid of our streets, some perceived miscreants, foreign miscreants, I want to find from him what exactly they think has brought about all this. There are laws.
The question
is it that laws are not being adhered to, or the regulatory agencies or bodies are not effective?
It's a combination of both. The question,
which is paramount here?
The paramount is that our laws reserve the retail business to Ghanaians. So let me pick the question of what is retail.
Yes.
And then what is wholesaling.
Yes.
It's so clear. Retailing is selling just in pieces. And then we'll talk of bulk purchases, bulk sales in terms of wholesaling.
Okay.
Do you understand me? Now, what we have now...
And there are people who box the two. The wholesale and retail are the same time.
There are people who box the two.
Yes.
But the question is, does the law allows you to box the two?
Okay.
Do you understand me? Now, if you want to box the two, there are regulations. Are you getting me? Now, what we have now is that, for instance, hawking, do you understand me?
Yeah.
Is reserved for Ghanaians. So how can you see Chinese, with a vehicle packed with goods coming to the market, selling?
Maybe he's a naturalized. He's naturalized. Do you know whether he's naturalized?
The question of naturalization.
Yeah.
If the person, that is why we have the police.
The immigration.
We have the immigration. We have whatnot.
Yeah.
But when we go through the process and we realize that that person is naturalized and it's natural, fine. Guta has nothing to do.
Yeah.
But what we've seen that there are so many in the system, as against those who have
naturalized. How do you determine those in the system? The portion that is naturalized and those who are not?
I was a member of the task force that was formed by GIPC, and then the second one that was formed by Ministry of Trade, authorized by the president.
Okay.
Do you understand me? I was part and parcel of that task force.
I'm happy to know
and
that.
When we went through the ground, we realized that even the technocrats that follows us, they were so amazed
What were they doing? Did you ask them? My
Yes,
friends,
we told them.
it is not your responsibility. They should have been doing that. It wasn't your responsibility.
They confess that they don't have strong monitoring and evaluation team.
Capacity.
Yes, they don't have it. And that is what we call for it. Do you understand me? They don't have, they were so sincere to us that, Guta, you have opened our eyes for us to go. When you talk about snitch, do you know that our laws are trying a non-Ghanaian coming into a retail business?
Yes.
Is supposed to employ a number of Ghanaians.
Yeah,
it's supposed to pay snitch and whatnot.
Yes.
When we went to the grounds, they were using Kaye and whatnot. Are they paying them according to the base rate?
Your own Ghanaians, are they doing better?
Listen, if
our own Ghanaians,
we have laws in the system. If a Ghanaian is supposed to do something and the person is flouting the law, that doesn't mean a foreigner, a non-Ghanaian should come and also flout the law. The law must deal with them. Guta keeps on educating our members, telling them what to do. Do you understand me? That is one of the pillars of Guta. We engage our traders and we always tell them that, please, you must follow this channel. If you go through outside the law, and we are not prepared, because we engage government. Everything that we do should be law, should also focus on.
Have you been able to point out the irresponsibility or the laissez-faire nature of the institutions that should protect your interests?
That was so clear when the task force came into being. You understand? It was so clear. That was the reason why the task force couldn't even work effectively. We will go lead them to where the foreigners are, and at the end of it all, the technocrats will take advantage of it. That is the reason why.
You said they take advantage.
Yes.
What did they do?
What is the motivation? For
instance, money from them.
What is the motivation?
To keep calm?
I said, what is the motivation? For instance, when the task force was
that
formed,
is a big allegation.
Yes, it was. It is not a big allegation. I am not fabricating anything.
No, it's the truth.
Yeah, it's the truth.
What?
The question is, when we formed the task force, we agreed at the task force level that when we close the shop, before that shop will be open, we have to come back as a task force. We have to examine the person's papers and whatnot. After it's up to the committee. Please let me land.
Okay,
it's up to the committee
to
decide to say that, please, this guy is
cleared.
So go and open the shop. When it gets to close, we will follow them to go and close. When it gets to the opening, we are not.
They are telling you.
So that is what we are.
They do not even have the
capacity.
Why don't you think about the capacity building? Why do we look at? Perhaps tell whichever body, if it's the president, that these people it affects our perhaps economy, your independence, whatever you can couch it to be. Why don't you really attack them? Build capacity to ensure that.
The question of attack and the question of attack and then what's not. What do you want us to do? That is why Kuta is saying that next time round we will make sure. For instance, we have a law that
you are taking the law into your hands.
The question of taking the law into our hands.
That is my word. The legal aspect.
Do you understand that citizen arrest is lawful?
But when
listen, if I
let me finish. I think he's running away with a couple of things. When you talk about citizens arrest, the moment you see a peace officer, you hand over the person to the peace officer.
Mr. Bennett, I'm coming.
Let me run.
Stay on the verna. This is what we do here. Straight facts. We say it as it is.
When we talk about citizen arrest, when you find somebody who is engaged in a reasonable, indictable evidence, you have the right to go to the police.
If you have the evidence.
Yes. And that is how you have
a reason. President challenge people to bring evidence.
Yes, that is
always allegation.
Do you know that we travel together to wherever and we come together with all these things? We know we know where there are dubious things that they do. Yeah. And this time around, these are some of the things we open it. When we see somebody in an indictable business, we will call the attention of the police. Because right now, what we did is we tried to engage, go to the president, and the president established the task force, and we realized that the technocrats within the task force couldn't
have been compromised. They've been compromised.
You see,
Yeah,
before
so if
before you go ahead, it looks as if you see the basic. If we establish the basis, we can go into these details because we are going to the details without the basis being firmly established.
Just hold on. Have you in any way tried going to court, taking perhaps the institutions to court for maybe this allegations, whatever institutions, for not doing their work, for not protecting
the
interests?
question is,
Which institution?
we have given an ultimatum.
Yeah.
Right?
And I'm worried about the ultimatum.
What happens,
The tension.
the question is, what happens after the ultimatum? Do you understand me?
We'll come to that.
And then
It's too early to look at that.
Wonderful. So when we get there, we'll cross it. I am waiting for that because that is where we say, which includes, what we are going to do includes legal action.
I'm happy.
Yes.
I'm happy happy with that because yes. I'm very happy about that.
We are not going to engage in cynicism.
Okay.
We are not cynics. We are not going to engage
because
in
we have Ghanaians all over the place too.
I must put on record.
We have Ghanaians all over the place too, who might not be also conforming to rules and regulations on this continent.
When my big brother said they engage
I'm
members.
Yes, I'm coming to him.
Which
because
members?
I never mentioned Guta members.
No, he didn't mention Guta.
I want to say, it's which includes Guta members. Why?
No, I never said it includes Guta members. Did you hear me mention Guta?
But before we come back to that, China Friendship Association, in recent times, there's been a lot of, let me try to be a little bit legal, allegations against the Chinese on our markets. I believe that with your expertise or knowledge in whatever pertains to the commerce and your role here, you have seen some of these allegations about they flouting our rules in terms of indulging in areas that they should not have primarily engaged in.
I have heard, I have been involved in discussions, not only on this program, about such issues. But you see, maybe that has also informed me for us to be able to come to the same page on issues pertaining to such things. Then we will know where we are moving to and how we can address these issues. For example, I asked the question, what is retail and what is wholesale? He was talking about bulk items. And I was
telling him about the boxing together.
Yeah, boxing together.
Who do the wholesale and retail?
Let's look at it again. Let's go back to the law and look at retail. They say retail aspect of business is defined to left for Ghanaians. Okay. They didn't say...
Let's say petty trading, whatever.
Petty trading, whatever. Hawking and that sort of thing. Yes, has been left for Ghanaians. But if you have a retail business that is of a certain volume, it is in the hands of foreigners also. They can also go into it. And there's a certain kind of amount of money or volume of business that they must perform.
For example,
Malcolm and that's others.
That's why we not touch Malcolms and the rest.
Yes, exactly. But I'll come to that. But again, when you look at wholesale could be by dozen.
It depends on the item. It depends on the item.
Yes, it could be by dozen. Okay, not hawking. Okay. Now, when you go again into some of these difficulties, you find out that there are two things. One, the people who you may find hawking around, who may be foreigners, some of them are fly-by-night visitors. They travel, bring a couple of things to sell, make some money, and go away. You can't find them all around all the time. The second part of it is that Ghanaians who have made friends outside bring these people in. And there's a lot of issues in that regard.
It's not even bringing them in. The proverbial Ghanaian hospitality, sometimes, which I think...
It's not even the Ghanaian hospitality.
In quotes.
No, it's not a
Place S-T-U-P-I-D-I-T-Y.
No,
I mean, excuse my language.
Yes,
hospitality sometimes is almost synonymous with stupidity in our culture.
No, that is not it. I'm sorry
for the harsh words, but that is how I see it.
That is not how I know it, and that's not how I see it, and that's not how I want it.
Yes, I want you to...
I am saying that this time around, I'll say Guta members. The traders, the Guta members, I've seen them in China, I've seen them in Guangzhou, I've seen them in Yiwu.
All over.
They go in there, and I know how much they pay for an item. And they go in there, make friends, and they get some of these items on credit. they come, they invite the people here. The people see how much they are selling it here. And everybody wants to do business for money. They go in trading. So they also come.
From friends, can I say that the prices on the market are too exorbitant?
Thank you. But
you believe that?
I know.
You're not looking at the customs,
you see,
the frustrations at the ports.
You see.
I mean, is that how nationalistic you'll be?
No. You are talking about a different issue. Just
no, you're talking about price.
Listen, you are talking about a different issue. Let me tell you something.
Yes.
Just today, I had money sent to me from outside. And I'm supposed to receive it in dollars. And I'm supposed to travel with the same amount of money outside in dollars, not in cedis.
Okay.
But the laws of Ghana says I should take the money in cedis. Then I need to have the dollars to go back. Of $1,000, I've lost $200 already. Just through that one transaction. Just through, I'm talking about today. Just through one transaction. That is how real it is for most of us doing business.
Yeah.
So that is an.
So is there no contradiction with what you are saying? That
no.
If people have to go and come back and the prices are high, it's because our laws and policies.
I am talking. I said that is a different issue. I'm talking.
He's coming very into. I'm happy with this.
I am talking about a different issue. I'm talking about the relationship between, say for example, like we're talking about Chinese, Chinese and Ghanaians.
We're not talking about relationship. We're talking about what is pertaining.
I am coming to it.
Relationship beautiful. Ghana's a hospital.
No.
They allow you to offend them, sleep with your wife and sleep in their home.
Listen.
Ghanaians will do that.
No. You see, let me tell you something. In branding, they say it's not what you say about yourself.
Yes.
It's what others say about you.
Okay.
What are they saying about us? That's how we are branded.
All right.
Not what we think we are. Not that we think we are hospitable.
That's educative.
Yeah. So, but what I'm saying here is that the laws of the land as written, as quoted, the market where they must operate, even talking about identified retail market areas where foreigners are not supposed to operate.
It's not clear-cut.
There are issues over there. Now, one will say, even the question is, why would GRPC allow somebody to come into Ghana on tourist visa and be allowed to end up being an investor?
Business tourism.
I like it.
In tourism, we have business tourism.
I know what you're talking about, but that is what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm talking about just coming with an ordinary tourist visa. And then ending up being this thing. Yeah. You see, if you don't tackle, you might have a very good case. But if you don't handle it properly, you end up being, messing the case up, filing the case and everything. That is why I was saying that it is very, very important to speak from the same page. Let's understand the difficulties of the immigration.
Okay.
Let's understand the difficulties of custom. Even the policymakers. Let's see how we can approach this issue. And again, too, like you were hinting, I have lived outside Ghana for several years. And I know what, as a foreigner living in another country, what you go through. And I would not wish it for any other person who has traveled outside his country to come to my country. And the world is made up of free movement.
Yeah.
So
relative.
Yes.
Relative free movement.
I agree. Well, so what? No. You see, don't marry the two. I'm saying that the laws of the land must be obeyed, respected. If enforcement has been a problem, we must appreciate the difficulties or the challenges that are there and see how we can.
Which has been spelled out. Compromise on the technocrats' behalf. Whoever in charge. Capacity.
No. You see,
but that was a big allegation, and he supported it.
You see,
I thought it was an allegation, but vehemently.
The problem here is that we are taking details.
All right.
As the problem. These are details. Okay.
Are the details not part of the problem? How can we extricate the details from
what
the
I'm
problem?
saying is that if you want to, they say if you want to stop a river from flowing, you don't stop it from its tributaries. You stop it from the mouth. So if you start stopping it from the tributaries, you'll be creating a dam.
I think that is what we're getting to. Mr. Abraham Kumsin, what are we not doing right? A lot of allegations by Guta. Are you in agreement? Compromise on behalf of whatever. And like Mr. Mala said, even at all, if we have to stop the river flow from the mouth or the actual source, the source itself is said to be compromised. So how do we even stop it at all, cock it? What is the problem here?
You see, our laws, we have problem with the enforcement of our laws. We have very good laws in this country.
Wonderful.
And it's unfortunate that hypocrisy has...
It's part of our culture.
Hypocrisy is our culture.
It's part of, it's an element in culture. Let me give you an example. When in our culture, rarely do people, after their death, okay, when people die, it's only the beautiful things that are said about them. That's one. I do a little bit of sociology here.
Okay.
So culturally, the culture of a people, if it is not well tuned, it affects what is happening to Ghana today. So culturally, we have a problem with hypocrisy.
Culture.
I mean, don't challenge your parents if they are wrong.
Is it an African culture?
No, but we're talking about Ghana. I mean, you don't look an elder in the face, hypocrisy. Even if the elderly person is wrong. So if you're talking about it, then that is where the root causes.
No, yes. If
I'm provoking an issue. It can cause debates in the homes. That is part. The culture has really.
In the home, you know that what your father is doing is.
Your parents.
If your father comes home always drunk,
He might be a thief.
he is not responsible. Then, being a child, you say you cannot.
You cannot tell the police. If you tell the police about that, I'm sure the whole family will do away with you. I mean, that is our culture.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the negative part of our culture.
As we develop,
We shield the bad things in society because of
develop,
yeah.
we must develop our culture.
That is it. That is what I'm provoking.
And it's unfortunate that Guta is going through these challenges.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like you said, task force and all these things. And you know,
They're taking too much.
if government should show concern, you can leave this struggle for only Guta.
Is the word government not too big here?
No, it's sometimes the political will. My brother,
Because this is become a fact, but over the years
no, my
it's
brother has
existed.
established a very good rapport with the Chinese.
Yes.
So, in a way, he is compromised. Because if a Chinese man is misbehaving, because he can relate with a man...
I disagree with you.
No, I mean,
I'm a disciplinarian. If my child goes wayward, it doesn't mean that, excuse me, I let my whatever down. That is not the issue.
You know how...
He might have escaped.
No, you know how these Chinese miners entered this country? Through some...
They were tutorials.
Ghanaians who facilitated their coming.
No, but he rightly said that sometimes we mess them up because he did say that. He said that sometimes we do these things.
We are doing all these things.
We invite them here
we invite them here to come and do what? To come and do, illegal business. That's the problem.
That might not be an intention. He rightly said people come here with just a tourism visitor as a tourist and ends up doing business. Is it his business? If it's not Mallet's business, it's not the Chinese government, it's the authorities. If I have a visitor and the person goes out drinking and goes doing wrong
I
things,
sit down here and he looks me straight in the face and tells me I'm compromised.
that is a beautiful thing about our program. That is
I like it, but you see, but do you know what I call
I
it?
like that.
I like it.
He's putting on your guard.
No,
Yes.
it's not putting me on my guard.
Yes.
It shows me the kind of perception
People
and
have.
the manner, the level to which people are informed about issues
Beautiful.
such as this.
Yes.
You see, the point about it is that all along I was saying that we're even having forums on doing business in Ghana in a friendly way, doing business in China in a friendly way, engaging our membership.
Including Guta members. That is
No, I didn't say Guta. But of course,
Maybe
no.
Let's give him.
Okay, including Guta members. Let me put it that way. I didn't say Guta executive.
Guta executive. So maybe members of Guta also come.
Because we have traders who are members of.
No, but I think that then the explanation is clear because if they have a forum and certain traders happen to be there, who might be.
I can even call some by name.
I represent.
They are
not official. It might not be official.
Not executives.
Not official.
Let me tell you also, the clarity is not all traders, not everybody that you see is in Guta.
Okay, thank you. So it's an assumption because whatever you are doing is in the interest of the generality. So let's go on.
You know, I am inclined.
No, let me finish.
Can you finish? Let me finish.
I say, when we get to the ground, when we're talking about retail business, when my brother asked me what is the meaning of retail, and
he was trying to.
And then his definition was saying that even selling in dozens,
sometimes some quantities.
You see, these are some of the tutorials they give to the Chinese. So do you know what? When we
we'll come to the specifics. I'll give him an example.
When we get to the market, when we got to the market, they themselves, the Chinese, realized they were doing wrong things, so they closed their shops. And after tutorials, they wrote in their shops, bulk purchase, tutorials by who? Dozens. You understand? Bulk sales in dozens.
Tutorials by who?
They wrote it on a card, on a brown card. These are some of the things.
This is becoming interesting. It's a serious issue, but I like the platform.
See, let me
go ahead.
When we have programs like this, we invite government ministers and the technocrats to come and explain to the people. And they read the law to them.
All right.
What I am saying on this platform here is an issue of definition which I wanted us to understand. You see, it's very, look, in the first place, I'm a journalist. By profession.
By profession. I know that. A
seasoned
journalist.
And I'm a publisher.
I know that.
Okay? I'm not bringing that here. If I hear any word, again, in a certain way, moving towards me in a very negative way.
Is that supposed to be a threat?
No, I said in a very distinct. I will
about the seriousness.
I will accept that challenge. I will accept that challenge and start teasing all of you on the program, including yourself, the host. I'll start teasing all of you on the program. And I will start teasing all of you on the program and let you understand that what I am saying here is this. Before we go on break, I want you to get one point clear. The point I want all of us to get clear is that we have serious problems. And we must address them and put the right solutions in the hands of those who will enact them.
I think
emotions are not necessary.
At the end of this, I think that this is where I want to get to. On this note, we'll go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll tidy up and see the way forward. On the banner, this is the way we go. So natural.
Do you know that there are more successful people in Ghana today than before? Well, that is the truth. And the secret is in prudent financial planning with the right financial manager. You need to know the right fund manager who spends your money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 4 weeks in a month, and 12 months in a year. That manager is at Gold Coast Fund Management. At Gold Coast, your money never sleeps. It revolves every second to give you more money for use when you really need it. For the past 21 years, Gold Coast Fund Management has held a strong reputation of spending people's money to beat inflation, depreciation, and treasury bill rates. Put your money to work. Move from savings to investment. Pay your investment tithe into the Gold Fund and Gold Money Market Fund, and be assured that when you are in need, you can turn to them to resolve your financial problems. Gold Coast Fund Management. Investment advice worth its weight in gold.
hearty discussion. We just have some few minutes to go. But before then, let me just pick some WhatsApp messages. I really like this program. It's up from what? Atebubu. Thank you. Hi. I agree that retail trading must be reserved for Ghanaians. We must also try to develop our sector to meet the competition. Key. There shouldn't be any justification why foreigners should be allowed to engage in retailing. From Honorable I pay, my good friend. How are you, boss? Honorable, big salute. Greetings to all of you, fatherland in the studio. I wish you all happy Father's Day. Thank you. One fact we all have to know is that Mahama and the NDC can never make it to the people of Ghana political. Since God is against, please, I don't know who told you God is against. Ghana must suffer until men allow the will of God be done. Alex, Kaswa Nyanyano, thank you. Anyway, we hope the will of God will be done someday. Isn't it funny to hear Guta interested only in retailing? Is retailing not in all other sectors of the economy? How has Guta been able to train her members in customer relationship? There are Ghanaians in other countries trading. So what is the foul cry? Go to Nigeria and count Ghanaians selling buffroat, buffroat, donut, and shoe cobbling. When you see Chinese truck pushers, they are very polite. Nigerian shop owners are very polite. If these foreigners are flushed out, will the Ghanaian be fair to customers in terms of pricing? Guta should rather concentrate on building institutions. Adam Koku, Adam, go also, go and have a far away. Thank you very much. And a nice program. You only said nice program. Well, I wish there's more, but we will read the others as time goes by. I must also acknowledge our support from Gold Coast Fund Management. Gold Coast Fund Management is a reputable fund management that has won 2 awards as the best financial advisory company 2011-2012. It is the only investment bank that has branches all over Ghana. You should invest with Gold Coast Fund Management for a good return. Call them 050-129-4893. First National Savings and Loans are here with us. The People's Bank, First National Savings and Loans Bank, has branches across the country, and Coconut Group Hotel has always been our call. Thank you. And then our WhatsApp messages can still go on coming, 050-629-0721. The line is activated. You can keep the messages coming. Let them come in early, because I get a host of them at the end of the program and I'm unable to do justice to them. So please keep them coming, and remind friends out there that it is still on the banner. My name is Exshalom Gono, and right here with me is Mr. Abraham Kumson, General Secretary, Textile Garment and Leather Employers Union. He's at the far end. He's followed in the middle by Mr. Henry Yamalet, Executive Member, Ghana-China Friendship Association, who has just issued some threats. And then right here, Mr. Richard Amamu, Director of Protocol Good, are very passionate about the issues on the market in recent times. I'll start with you, Mr. Abraham Kumson. I think we need to find a way for it. But what I've gathered from our discussion in our first part is there's some kind of gap somewhere between this. I'll consider you as stakeholders, those of the unions and people like Mr. Mallet, who are trying to, ensure or nurture a kind of healthy relationship for trade. Is there a gap in terms of communication, orientation, ideas sharing?
What I would talk about is basically our laws are not working.
They have never worked, but what can we do for now?
And that is bad. Then the country is in serious crisis. If laws do not work, then are we safe?
There's been an admission, Mr. Kumson, Mr. Richard Amamu just said it, that the authorities, the technocrats have admitted that they do not have the required capacity. And through my 50 years, in journalism, all the time, technocrats will tell you, every sector of this country will tell you, they do not have capacity.
What capacity are you talking about?
In terms of resources, whatever.
What resources? Is it the
human resource, whatever it takes to be able to deliver.
The politicians are guilty of all this. Because if the technocrat is saying that they don't have the resources. What are they talking about?
You go to the ministries and they'll tell you a lot. They'll
But
tell you
they
have nothing
travel
to operate.
almost every day.
A lot of
Every hour
scholarships
people
for
travel.
them.
You see, we have a very big problem. That's why the other time.
That is why we are here. How do we solve
That's why the other time I said that there should be some, military cum civilian rule that will introduce some. I'm telling you this. You see, this blend will help us.
You think
discipline.
the talk through is the issue here?
Yeah, people
Do you
should
need
make
that? Don't we have a mindset of our own? We are also human beings.
What
We
mindset?
go to the schools that the Europeans go. We have very nice people. I mean, entrepreneurs doing very well.
You see?
So in the generality, I don't agree with you.
I beg your pardon. I just want to come in here.
I don't agree with you.
You see, when I hear words,
Well, are you scared about the military thing?
no, I'll come to it. When I hear words being bandied around like that,
Yeah.
I get a bit worried. Because if you say there's no law in Ghana,
Yeah.
No, there are laws.
Yeah, laws.
No, he just said there are no laws. He said fine laws,
Yes,
but the implementation.
yeah, but the laws are not.
Yeah, so
That
other
means
people, I said that is
that means
already
Ghana
there.
has
So
become
solution.
wait, Ghana has become something like a lawless.
Lawless.
society.
That is what it
And
is
I
perceived to be.
I
I
refuse to agree with that completely.
Okay. All right.
I can say, you see, in every human institution, you see, at one time or the other, there will be a challenge.
Okay.
You know, it's a continuous situation. We must know how to live by it.
All right.
Take, for example, I was mildly amused, because he's here, that's why I want to mention
That's
it.
good.
When they gave school uniforms to some Chinese people or some foreigners to produce, and there was a brouhaha, it was agreed. It was given to Ghanaians to produce, because we knew it could be produced in Ghana.
Yeah.
But that was the case that was stated. I know of seamstresses who wanted to get them and sew, and fund
Yeah.
them out and sew.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, what were they produced? In China.
So the same Ghanaians.
The same Ghanaians.
This is where the laws. So why couldn't the institution ensure
Wait.
some penalty?
I am saying that the very people who
Supervision.
stand, who pontificate, who stand and start accusing
And that
authority.
is why I say go.
They themselves. Who am accusing him?
No,
The old people. Instead of
the government
accusing,
and textile industry.
I am saying the test side. I am telling them the people themselves who are accusing government
Uh-huh.
and the politicians are the ones who are compromising them.
Oh, how?
Yes.
Now,
How? You get the job.
Yes.
You get the job.
Then this makes.
What am I
But you are
saying in
giving
Ghana?
volume. You are giving volume to what he's saying that
I
it's a
don't believe-
lawless here.
No, there's no law.
There must be a supervisory body
I am
which
saying that
ensures that
that's
the
the
right
person
thing is
who
done.
has-
You can't do this in China.
The
You
person,
can't do
no,
this
wait a
in any
minute. The
civilized
person who is
country.
accusing must come to table with clean hands.
Look,
They are
please.
Ghanaians.
The person who is accusing.
No, let me say something. Please, let me say. Now he's come into my real area.
And
Yes.
welcome to the textile garment industry.
We have machines that produce these fabrics
Yeah.
to be used to sew school uniforms. Ask me, when was the last time that orders came for this
Your orders
product
will come.
produced?
Shoes are going to school
Meanwhile, we
first
know
of all, shoes
we
first,
know that
first.
I didn't know we were going to talk about. Otherwise, I would have brought samples of already sewn school uniform
But there's an
from
allegation that
China.
people get the contract and they divert the contract because
Which people?
Those that
The
that's
local
the
manufacturers-
allegation, He just said it.
The local manufacturers
just said it.
who are starved of orders, they themselves to import. It is not possible. It will not work.
Who got the orders for the school uniforms that the noise came about? Who were your members
I
who got
don't know
the
much
orders?
about
No, you see that
But let's get the issue.
the thing is that
No, you see, what I'm trying to point out
no,
is
we
that.
blame ourselves, that's what
That's what I'm saying that, you see,
But is it not
No, what is
an
important
allegation
is
that
it?
we are not disciplined?
no,
in
no,
ourselves?
wait. You see, it's very easy to accuse another person.
Sure.
But what I'm saying here is that we, the people who are doing the accusing, are also compromised in a manner. So it's not.
So we'll find a solution.
but-
We'll find a solution.
we
I'll
have-
let you suggest what we must do.
I am happy Guta is here. I was looking at
It looks as if Ghanaian trader or a businessman is being marginalized. Why am I saying so?
Say it again.
Now, if you give me a contract, if you give a contract to a Ghanaian, what is the end result? You want the Ghanaian to benefit at the end of it all.
Yeah.
Are you getting me?
Yeah.
What are we talking about? You've given a contract to a Ghanaian. You need. I thought they would say that when the contract was given to a Ghanaian, he did not deliver.
Not produce.
Do you understand? But what are we talking about here? The end thing that we want our Ghanaians to also live and live well. Do you understand me? Because we are talking about unemployment, the rate of unemployment here. That Ghana is suffering. If the government
It's not a hydra-headedness. You see, they use one issue and they state a case that we can produce it, like he's saying here. Then he is saying that the Ghanaian must have the profit
I'll
of
give you
it.
an example.
Which one are we talking about?
Mr. Mallet, I think that you see, we are all agreeing in principle. Let me give you an example. Ghana government or Ministry of Education could not supply boxes of chalk to Ghanaian schools. Now, when they supplied only 2 boxes of chalk to a one-stream school, the chalk came from China.
Thank you.
And you cannot just say this contract was just from any lay person. So when he talks about laws, who is supposed to supervise? And when we talk about politics or government, people want to say, no, you're all part of the system. But we need leadership. Somebody must guide. There has to be the deterrence, penalties. When we found that the Kweku Menu, who was supposed to solve these things, did not saw it. He had all the tools. He proved, brought the proposal. He did not do it. And he brought it from China. What did we do about it? Mark Miller, during Kufuor administration, it was a problem. Today, Ghana government, I don't know which source, brings chalk. When we have given contract to the disabled people to produce chalk, we will not equip them with Chinese equipment, and government supplies chalk to school from China.
Let me tell you something.
So where is it? So why would you agree with me?
No.
Leadership.
No, let me tell you something. You see, when you talk about leadership, then we have to question leadership.
No, it's about us all.
No, wait.
Somebody's got to show the way.
Just give me a chance.
Good.
Here we have a political party that has a mandate for 4 years.
Yes, please.
We are all Ghanaians. They take 1 year to put the to put their government together, the ministers and others in place. They take another 1 year to come out to see how they can implement the manifesto that they sold to the public. The 3rd year, they are getting ready to campaign.
Is that an excuse? They have representation in the
Are
legislature.
we saying that they don't know that they have just 4 years? And within 4 years,
I disagree with you.
I am coming. I'm coming. This is not one political party.
It's a continuous thing.
Yes, that is the system we have.
They only come and fit into those
I am coming.
So if we don't have a system,
you see, but what you are forgetting is this: there are systems, but we always want to fulfill manifesto promises. Is that not true?
Based on that, you were voted into power.
They are just expectations, their wishes.
They are not wishes.
It is not automatic that they are fulfilled.
No, the manifesto promises have become our development planning.
Said, I remember he said they are intentions of parties. They are intentions of parties.
I am saying that these have taken over from our national development programs.
What
and I am saying
is
that we should go back to national development programs.
Yeah.
We should go back and sit down and see why is it that India, that does not have electricity capacity in terms of percentage as we have in Ghana, can produce so cheaply for us to go and buy from there.
Of scale.
How do they do
Economics
it?
of scale. Markets.
Why is it that India, who also imports paper, will go, we Ghanaians will take even well-back money to go and print our textbooks and exercise books and notebooks from there and bring here.
Again.
Now, how do they do it? How is it that the manufacturing sector,
etc.
Why is that the manufacturing sector?
We are not going to the
No, I am not looking. I'm just throwing this.
It's very important. I agree.
How Nigeria, what is happening to our manufacturing area?
Yes, we have failed ourselves.
If the manufacturing sector was that vibrant, Kuta won't go to China.
That is why I'm saying that if I'm agreeing with him, I have to take sides here. That if our politicians are importing chalk from China, when the disabled used to and have contract, then what have we done them? I think that would be unfair to ourselves. So I think that, like he said, I agree. I have to take sides here. There are laws in this country, but I think that we are not heeding.
I am not interrogated that
because the chalk from China is cheap. Why is chalk from China cheap, and the one produced in Ghana expensive?
Give us the answer. I want
the
answer. Yes, give us the
environment.
You know what is the enabling environment? What is the enabling environment? For instance, is it happening in China?
Is the responsibility of every government? Is the
But you will see because they have generations that come back.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
Is the responsibility of every government?
You don't see because they have generations. We also use generators and they produce cheaply. Why can't we produce?
Just a moment.
You know, it's the responsibility of every government to create a neighboring environment for its citizens. Do you understand me? So if we want our president want us to channel our resources and everything, our focus into made in Ghana goods, right? But if the environment is not created, it will be very difficult.
It cannot be done overnight.
It will be very difficult for us to do it.
But there should be the signs on the wall.
So we must say it. Ghanaians don't cherish just going into buying and selling, just doing buying and selling.
That is what I was coming to. Building capacity.
Yes.
As part of the vision or vision statement, you want to get yourself and go into industry as a productive sector.
All of us would like to go into manufacturing. And then at the end of it all, even when you produce, somebody should distribute. Do you understand me? So there is a chain. And that chain, until the final distributor, it gets to the, before it will get to the final consumer, there should be a distributor.
What help are you getting from the GIPC in terms of your, whatever you have started, asking your fellows to close their shops? The stakeholders, what are they doing to support?
The question is,
before the ultimatum, what are they doing?
Before we have engaged them, we've got...
Because the Nigerian side is also threatening that whatever you do, there will be repercussions in Nigeria.
Nigeria
it doesn't have a brother or sister in Nigeria, so it's not worry.
I have siblings in Nigeria.
He's not worried, he's not worried.
That is not the issue.
If we're in Nigeria, you must be not abiding.
Listen, I go to Nigeria. I buy goods from Nigeria to Ghana.
I know most of you buy your goods from China and Nigeria.
We buy goods from Nigeria and we come. But when we go according to their law. We will not stay there illegally.
So if a Ghanaian is there and is not living according to laws,
that's when you go to a country.
Okay.
My senior man just said that China police is without a gun. A gun.
But they are the most feared.
They're the most feared. Why?
Discipline.
Because the discipline is
law.
So who is to impart that discipline into this thing? Do you understand me? We have to.
Do you think your stakeholders have what it takes to really tidy up what you are pursuing?
I think we're going to engage Guta from after today.
The question is,
you use that platform to engage them.
The problem about it is that
Mr. Mallet, hold on. I'll give you enough time. There's enough time.
It's not enough time. You see, because the words that are dropping are enabling environment. For me, I may understand enabling environment. But what is enabling environment?
We don't want to go into that. Let's solve this. I want an amicable.
Well, that solves the problem.
Please, let's hold on. Yes. So, what is going to be done? What is your expectation from the stakeholders?
In terms of
tidying up this issue.
I mean, getting
the tension between you and your.
Oh, the question is, Guta have started. Have been in the business of.
Have you met your Nigerian partners? The community.
We met them in front of. We've met them in front of Honorable Anatete.
And what was their response?
And you know, they were even telling us that they mentioned a certain number of Nigerians in Ghana. And we said they should go and produce the names.
They could not have accurate.
They went, they couldn't come back.
We don't
you see, all that, what I want us to know
so
is
it's just emotions,
all that the Nigerians and what's not, we are prepared. We've engaged them. They will live with them in the market. Do you understand me? All that we are calling for. Now, even Anatete, during the time of Anatete, he gave them the leeway that all of them should go to Registrar General and get registered.
Yes, yeah.
Go to Registrar General right now. You are a journalist. And check. They couldn't do it. They were thinking that they will use this as a tool to get them. So they did not go to the Registrar General to do a register.
So illegal.
So they are illegal. Now, the laws, listen, the laws of Ghana, even local government, AME, says that if somebody puts up a business Put up a business. There should be
taxes for
there should
them,
be an
whatever
inscription.
tolls,
There
yes.
should be an inscription
Yes.
in the shop
showing that.
declaring the name of the shop, depicting and what's
Certainly,
not.
yes.
Go to town. Go to the come to Zongole, Cow Lane, Ukanshi, Ashama. Go there and see whether you will see an inscription. This is even a security matter.
That is true.
Do you
I
understand
agree
me?
with you.
And that is why we've gone to national
Are
security.
you under threat that they are pushing out of the market because someone cited
You see,
you don't have that kind of
it is serious because
not
you know
hospitable
in Ghana,
the way, yes.
you know in
Their
Ghana.
fees are
Now the
cheaper,
cost of
their fees are
You see,
cheaper. Why are you scared?
The question of cheaper. Listen, the question of cheaper goods doesn't come in at all. When you talk about cheaper goods,
Let's
you know,
not follow.
I am a Ghanaian.
Yeah.
If I'm selling to you, the credibility should be there.
Okay.
Do you understand? I should make sure what I'm selling to you.
So you have
because-
customer loyalty.
Yes. Do you understand me?
I can go back and-
They don't mind about those things. They want to. They will bring fake goods, shoddy goods. They sell for. Listen,
people buy what they want.
sell for you to come the next day.
You don't protect the interest of consumers. You protect
you
your
see,
interest.
what we are saying is
Yes.
that let's consider the cost of doing business in Ghana.
So after 2010,
Let's consider what happens at the ports.
Yeah.
Now,
are the issues I would have wanted to tackle before you
government
come to
even imposed on 2%.
I know you want to go on some
distribution.
demonstration.
All those things.
2.5,
Now
2%.
they have smuggled another 1%. When you look at the
As for government,
tax system.
please, we are not
You
here to
see,
talk government.
so-
Government, we
no,
have enough
so
problem with
listen,
them.
all those things.
Now they are taxing
in
PTA
costing.
for extra classes, 1%
in
or
costing.
whatever.
In doing
That is what is
costing.
become of the nation now.
In doing
PTA is
costing.
being
In doing-
taxed 10%
in-
for their children's whatever.
And how is
in
No, that one we don't want to
doing
come to
costing,
government.
in
But how
doing
about you?
costing to determine what the price of an item.
An item is yes.
You look at the cost price. Then you look at the other inputs.
Certainly.
In terms of if you are an importer.
Okay.
What do? You pay freight.
Okay.
You pay duty.
Yeah.
Do you understand me?
The cost
you
elements.
pay more cost elements. And at the end of it, what do? You must factor those things.
Certainly.
Do you understand? To be in business, you must factor those things. But do you know what is happening now? Now you cannot. Traders are just managing.
So
what
I
do you call it?
understand. With even the stability of the cedi, I mean the instability of our currency, I sympathize with you
Yes.
seriously. But I think
And
that
then
those
to
are
add
issues.
to-
I was thinking those issues are even more vital than pursuing because they are not the cause of your woes. It is because of perhaps the perceived maladministration,
It is-
and therefore
it is-
recapitalizing your businesses. I mean, getting
It
money.
is a cumulative
the-
of that.
the
Do you know why?
interest.
Do you know why
Is it
the
the fault of
foreigners,
this?
the foreigners
A
aspect is
Chinese man
also?
hawking pushing track.
Do you know why
what has it got to do with
the Nigerians, the foreigners aspect is also delicate? Do you know why? The cost of shops. Now, please, maybe when you retire, maybe today, as you are discussing, maybe you will retire, and one day you may like to go to Mokola and start doing some small
I want to start
some shops.
But
So-
I know it's about demand and supply, so don't go there.
So that-
no, it's about demand and supply.
So that is it. So what I'm saying, the cost of
But I
shops.
think that the issue you are dwelling on is the
very
legality,
expensive.
and therefore we are not being fair to ourselves.
Yes.
So after 23rd, if your ultimatum, shops are not closed, what is the next step? You're going to court?
Legally, we have one is the court, two continuous demonstrations.
Okay.
Do
I
you
think that
understand?
is fine.
Yes, two
That is
continuous demonstrations.
Yeah.
That
But
one-
I think that the element of the human relationship, our international relations and human relations aspect comes in. Because, excuse me, they are...
we are not going to vandalize anything.
No, that should never...
No, we will not do that.
Yes,
the question is,
but
we'll go to court. One, we'll engage in continuous demonstrations. Three,
Engage
we'll
their
expose... We expose
the technocrats who are...
No, we expose them when they bring their goods.
Okay.
The way they bag the goods such that custom cannot even this thing.
Yes.
We will go
But
through
you
all
should have
this.
been giving information.
No, that is what we said. We will go through all
I'll come to the textile industry.
no.
When it comes to the textile industry, I think
That is why they say their goods are cheaper than ours. We will
and
see.
it's kicking you out of business. What are you also doing to ensure there's some kind of stabilization?
You see, the problem we are talking about here now is about unfair competition.
Okay.
They claim that our local manufactured goods are too expensive
Yeah. Cost of production is high.
and the cost of production is very high. This is an organization that imports raw materials through Tema Harbour, Takoradi Harbour, or the airport, and pay duties. And we have another group who dock at Lome port and manage to bring their goods through the bushes to town to come and compete with you. It's like playing football. Football, we use our feet to play.
Expose them
and somebody is using his hands. Somebody, we are playing football. Somebody is using his hands to score goals, and the referee will whistle. It is goal. Meanwhile, it is handball.
The referee
so what you are saying, the referee sees it. So what we are saying is that if you leave this thing to Guta alone to deal with it, they can't.
So before 23rd, what is the collaboration here? The other unions and Guta. What are you trying to do?
We are here, we can summarize.
What Guta is pursuing now.
No, we support them. Morally, we support them because.
But on paper, is that what reflects that you are, or you also want to have? I think that like a bunch of broom or whatever it is. You know.
Yeah, we will start this collaboration.
Because I think that keeps government on alert, it informs them, and perhaps they might build capacity to fight some of these things.
You see, politicians in Africa. I don't know.
You are going the political way.
I don't know. No, that's the point. The politicians are causing all these things.
I'll come to
politicians are causing all these politicians.
I know, no, but of course.
You see, they are causing all these problems.
Yeah.
Look, you know what? The president, you know, the textile task force used to carry out some operations to seize these pirated goods and all that. Then in December, one of these exercises came on, and the president intervened. Said no. The traders involved claim they do not know.
When you say the president, whom are you?
The head of His Excellency.
Okay.
Said those involved claim that they cannot differentiate the pirated designs from the
it's not fault of
genuine
this
ones.
to purchase them.
So we need to educate them. We started from February. We've gone to all the regions. We ended on Thursday. Then the minister, I met him at La Palm last Friday at the launch of a new product produced by GTP. They spent a lot of money even launch this program, this product.
These Ghanaian companies are collapsing.
Then,
the renewed focus of the illegal
when I met the minister was saying that we should give him 60 days
the Ghana Revenue Authority
more
GRA Customs Division
to allow he could allow the passport to go back to
and trademarks of
I
Ghanaian
said,
companies.
we have educated them. The president said we should use the first quarter, which is the 3 months of this, to do that. We have finished it. So why? And you know, August is a peak season for manufacturing. Because that is where, you know, these festivities, Homowo, Akwambo, and all these things. And that is the season that these pirates also intensify their business. So I suspect strongly that there are some politicians who are making money out of this illegal business. They have put the law aside. And we will fight it.
I'm happy you fight it as Ghanaians.
That's why we will fight it, because you see,
but you can see that it on a common front, not that in Ghana.
We'll do it. Now,
collectively, you can fight them.
You know, see, some of these governments, they also really cannot oversee all that they do.
Talk about
yes. So they may also, some of the governments may also be engaging in some other illegal things. But that one, if that one is a human institution. It's a human institution. So that one, we cannot fault them.
Yeah.
But from here, I'm going to link up with them.
I'm happy we are creating a platform.
That would be very wonderful.
Yes.
So that together we can work to deal with these criminal politicians who are always out there. And I call them criminals.
Some of them, please.
Yes, if it were to be Europe.
I'm a politician myself.
Europe, you leave office.
I'm a politician
you leave
myself.
office.
No partisan.
No, it's not partisan. Whether MPP, NDC, MPP, I'm not talking about any of them. What I'm saying is that
there are some fine politicians.
African politicians, about 90% of them are very wicked and dangerous. Unlike Europe, if you leave office,
are you not becoming too emotional?
I'm not emotional.
You can see some of your the Seas textiles and whatever.
Yeah,
Why they should be banned? They could have been given to some people.
And also to the orphanages and the school
Why don't you give it to them for free?
You see,
Burn a couple of it for symbolic reason.
Yes, but why don't you give the rest,
to
donate it
people?
to the...
you know what the law, you see,
The law says
you
you burn
see
it.
the lawlessness.
The law says you burn it.
We are talking about pirating of somebody's design.
But instead of burning them, dash them.
Look, we are working with an agreement, the WTO agreement that we are working with,
Which says?
which says, in part, can I read this part?
Yes.
Members shall provide for criminal procedures and penalties to be applied at least in cases of willful trademark counterfeiting
Okay.
or copyright piracy on a commercial scale. Remedies available shall include imprisonment and or monetary fines sufficient to provide a deterrent, consistently with the level of penalties applied for crimes of a corresponding gravity.
Okay.
In appropriate cases, remedies available shall also include the seizure, forfeiture, and destruction of the infringing goods,
And you chose the destruction.
and even the materials.
You chose the destruction. You could have...
No. You see, they are doing this not because
The WTO agreement is for the world, not for Ghana alone. Eh?
yes, Ghana is a founding member.
Yes.
Yes.
Ghana joined it in 1995.
So
As it is for the world, but not for Ghana alone.
This is not
But
draft.
if you go to Europe, no, listen.
Okay, can you go on?
Look,
Go on.
Cote d'Ivoire,
Yes. No, the French, excuse me, they are relatively more disciplined than we are.
they will burn even the truck. If you are driving that truck and you don't jump out, they will burn the truck together with these goods, destroy them completely. If you drive the driver, you will stay longer in your seat, you will burn with it. And this is a very effective
It
deterrent.
means we don't have deterrence in this.
And if you go to Europe, Switzerland and all that, television sets, wristwatches, and irons that are brought here and they burn our houses, they will destroy them all. You see, so what I'm saying is that the law, we have the law all right. Even apart from this, we have local laws that complement this. And we are not applying them. So what we are saying here is that, look, let's allow the law to work. But there are some politicians who condone in this kind of things. I'm telling you, some that are making money out of it. And that's the problem that we are having. You see, we are talking about cost, prices, and all that. China, the environment is quite different. To the extent that government supplies some facilities or inputs free of charge.
Of course.
It's not true.
It's not true.
Support.
It's not true.
No, it's your word against his word. Go ahead. Go ahead. I don't want to dispute that. It will waste my time.
Look, if you come to textiles, we use steam. Steam that is water boiled
Yeah.
and the vapor
Yeah.
is collected and through some pipes is used to process the fabrics.
Okay.
China, they have a centralized steam generator. And they have connected pipes. That one is correct.
It's true.
They have connected pipes to the industries
For free?
for free.
Not for free.
Oh my God. You are a friend to Chinese people.
You see, the problem you are having with yourself you have a serious problem here.
Hold on.
Look,
No, we have been coming to that ever since. No, we have been coming to that, but he's taking certain swipes at me, and you are encouraging him to take those swipes at me. And it's not a question of rebuttal. You see, when a man continues telling subtle lies,
what lies?
and they say I'm a friend of the Chinese, so I will just
It's
do that sort of thing.
because
see,
you
point-
you came in to distract, so he's trying to
So you also-
shrug you off. No, excuse me. So you stay off a little. Let him finish, and then
If you
can
like,
get back.
next week, if they give research forum again,
Yes.
I'll bring research documents.
Yes,
Not
bring
me.
them.
I didn't do the research.
Yes,
Work.
bring them.
You understand?
Yeah.
I'll bring them. Tell the host, tell the producer to bring us back, and I'll
No
come to show to
problem.
you.
There's always a platform.
Look, even the cotton that is produced there, they pay almost half of the cost of it. And you see, the motivation is to let China. That's why China is dominating the whole, world economy. They encourage them.
The government support is massive.
Yes.
This is the first time I heard it, but we'll do our
yes.
I'll do an independent check.
And you see, we are not saying that
our listeners, our audience will
that's a
be
fact.
checking here.
You see, so and unfortunately for us, when they are bringing these products, they even use child labor. Ghana, if you use a child to work, is a taboo. But China,
But all over the world, the emerging countries everywhere, the rural, whatever, children, everybody engages. India, Pakistan, everybody does that.
No, but if this morning you listen to news, you listen to news.
Which news?
China is being Ghana news.
Ghana news.
They are.
Mr. Male, please.
We are being indicted for using child labor. I don't know where.
But all over the East, it exists.
It's not child labor.
I'm always on foreign channels, so I know what I'm talking about.
But China,
it's
they use them
all over the East. Please, that one.
Child labor
I
is
agree with
used.
you.
Here you can't.
Elements, maybe they
You can't employ any child in an industry.
But it is all over
It is
the
your
emerging
home.
economies.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that Ghana, you can't
South
employ
America,
a child
Tunisia,
under 16 in an industry. You can't do it. China, they do it. I'm a trade unionist. And we relate with our counterparts there. We know what is happening there. Trade unions don't work there. Trade unions don't work there. In China, I'm telling you this.
So you go on.
It's all as here, we fight for social security, we do this, we struggle, minimum wage, all these things. Go to China and go and talk about minimum wage. They will think that you are developing some mental problem.
On that mental problem, I'll go for a short break so that by the time we come, we'll have a remedy to the mental problems that we are involved with. I'll be right back. This is on the banner for you. That's the way we do it.
The sun is up, spirits high, people everywhere. Yeah. The food is good, the wine is fine, people getting high. Yeah. Mama here, Papa there, the whole gang too. Yeah. Everybody's dancing, celebrating all night long. Celebration, jubilation, come together, all together. Celebration, jubilation, all together, all together. Folks are jumping, screaming and shouting, party everywhere. Yeah. All our friends, let's join hands and make the sun shine bright. Yeah. Why don't you come right in and have a good time too? Yeah. Everybody's dancing, celebrating all night long. Celebration, jubilation, come together, all together. Celebration, jubilation, all together, all together, all together.
Do you know that there are more successful people in Ghana today than before? Well, that is the truth. And the secret is in prudent financial planning with the right financial manager. You need to know the right fund manager who spends your money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 4 weeks in a month, and 12 months in a year. That manager is at Gold Coast Fund Management. At Gold Coast, your money never sleeps. It revolves every second to give you more money for use when you really need it. For the past 21 years, Gold Coast Fund Management has held a strong reputation of spending people's money to beat inflation, depreciation, and treasury bill rates. Put your money to work. Move from savings to investment. Pay your investment tithe into the Gold Fund and Gold Money Market Fund, and be assured that when you are in need, you can turn to them to resolve your financial problems. Gold Coast Fund Management. Investment advice worth its weight in gold.
party discussion, finding our way forward. There's been a lot of allegations against technocrats, big allegations against us politicians being wicked. That is the mildest of the words that was used against us. If this is a reflection of the silent voices out there, that is quite dangerous. Mr. Mallet, China Friendship Association, there's been a lot of allegations raised on your right, on your left. What can we do if the allegations that are being raised to you are not real? What can we do? Or if they are just mere perceptions, what can we do to erase or tidy the environment for a kind of mutual or cordial trade relationship?
To start off with, I just want to emphasize that Ghana-China friendship is not a one-way traffic.
Okay.
It is not that Ghanaians are in love with Chinese, or those of the association are in love with Chinese, like a man will go wooing or courting a woman.
Okay.
We believe that when we come together and know each other, better understand ourselves, we'll be able to deepen our relationships. And secondly, too, if you know the Chinese culture well, you realize that they have what they call networking, like friendship.
I watch CCTV a
yes,
lot.
yeah.
A lot,
if they don't know you, it's very hard for them
African
to
relations,
actually. So if we come together with them, and we're not talking about Chinese only in China,
Okay.
but Chinese all over the world.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay. Now, if we also look at it from another perspective, the Americans are aggressively going out to woo the Chinese and Chinese money. Europeans are going out aggressively to woo Chinese and Chinese money everywhere. Yes, still.
And Chinese are aggressively going out there to woo what?
No. What I'm saying, you see, we have a problem. No, we have a problem in Africa. We allow.
Did not,
Yeah,
distract you.
we have a problem. The problem is that we are fragmented.
Okay. Fragmentation in terms of what?
Our boundaries,
Okay.
our thoughts.
Okay.
If we want to talk about, you talk about Google the whole of Africa, you only see South Africa and North Africa lighted.
Okay.
It's blink of lights in it. The whole continent is dark. Energy is an issue, and it's one of the necessary things for production or manufacturing or development.
Okay.
You know, there are issues that are so strong that even if we take one or two of them together collectively and put it in front of the Chinese, which money that Americans are craving to get for their own support, if we are able to do that, we'll be talking at a different level.
What can we do to tidy
Yeah, but
this? Now
yes,
that there are
you see,
suspicions
yes,
that
you see,
they are
the
not,
point-
the Chinese on the ground are not being law abiding
Yes,
and all that,
it-
because
it-
I know
You
the
see,
Chinese respect a lot of culture.
the point I'm trying to make here is that no country, no government will allow its citizens outside to disobey the laws of another country.
So what do we do here? In terms, you are a friend to the Chinese. What are
Yes,
you doing to?
Yes, not we a friend to the Chinese, yes. But the point I'm trying to make here is that let me put it clearly.
Okay.
When Ghanaians offend in other countries, they are not tried in the media.
Okay.
They're not tried in the media.
But you know why the growing trend here? Because of suspicion. Because of suspicion for the institutions that we have. The media have become governing agencies. So people believe in them.
I
mean, it has been displayed by your friend on the left and your friend on the right.
I would say
media-
this is the reason why I'm saying that if we were able to
The
establish,
mistrust is too much.
yeah, if we were able to establish what we're talking about,
Yes.
and we are speaking from the same page, you
I
realize
think that
that
research to find out whether what is being.
I am saying that if you look at the immigration laws of the country, it's very clear. The implementation is clear.
Okay.
If there is a problem over there, let us engage that.
That's
Let
what we're
us
trying to
engage
do.
that.
Okay.
I mean, let us engage that. Okay. If we have a problem with the investment law of Ghana,
Yeah.
let us engage that.
Okay.
You see, I want.
And I think that is what Guta is pushing.
No. Let me tell you something, for example. There was a review of the investment law of Ghana, and it went back to 10% for Ghanaians. That we even call the sovereign guarantee that they gave to governments before. Go to China, go to Nigeria, and ask whether you're a foreigner You can open a business over there and own 100% or 90%.
That's where?
China or Nigeria. You know, they have these things in place.
Okay.
They don't give them, say you can come and open 100% or something like that. Even our gold we are selling. Forget about the multinationals.
Are people listening to us? The beautiful things you are saying, are people listening
Forget about
to
the
us?
multinational. The galamsey, the small scale.
Are people taking us serious?
No, you see, the problem I'm having here is that we who are accusing are not going to table with clean hands.
But we must start from
I am a journalist and I know what I'm. No, we will start from somewhere. But I am saying that the only way we can do it is for us ourselves, to come to table with clean hands. All of us, including you.
What clean hands?
No, he's speaking in parables.
No, he is contradicting.
No, excuse me.
I don't understand the word contradiction.
20 minutes. We'll show
I don't understand the word contradiction.
No.
I am saying that it's very clear. It's the concept. I am saying that
No, he's talking in the generality.
No, I don't understand him.
Contaminated.
Is that why?
Is that why? Not contaminated because I've been a human rights.
I don't understand.
For all this while.
Is that why the foreigners are selling?
No, but
ice cream.
I'm coming.
That's why Chinese guys
Can you help me? Can you help me, gentlemen? Hold. What he's trying to say?
No, he said
he's talking about systems.
ice cream that is being sold by Chinese.
That is where we are coming.
Is that the reason why?
I never mentioned ice cream. I'm talking about systems. You see, do you know something? I'll tell you the reason why.
Yeah.
I'll tell you today. Here we have the workers' unions.
Yeah.
They only go to
Let's
table.
be snappy because
they
we'll
go
come
to
back,
table.
we'll come back.
Yeah, they go to table to negotiate only their salaries.
That is also an allegation. We'll look at that.
But they should negotiate for what? They should go and do what?
This is a serious issue. I'm sorry. But this is on the ground now.
They should negotiate for dismissal or layoff.
Please. It's a serious issue, but the host. I'm sorry, I have to apologize. The host can hold back. I'm just a human being. So it's becoming interesting. But on a more serious note,
You see,
what would you have expected?
Let me explain something
You
to
arrested
you.
a very important point.
Let me explain something to you. Akosobo testers, their own machines consume a lot of energy.
Yeah.
If you go into the statistics,
Yes,
you realize that
I
they
agree.
consume almost
I agree.
Japan, also that sort of.
I agree with you.
They are supposed to, because labor is also part of production. Not only the salaries that go into their.
Yeah. I agree with you. That one I agree with you. Yeah, go ahead.
I won't go ahead again. Let me get baffled. I was baffled.
That is why you have to keep watching the banner. Very controversial, interesting.
No, they only go to table to go and negotiate their salaries.
Go on. He said, should you go and negotiate for dismissal?
China, you see, that's why it's the Chinese. China,
Think of his stomach.
China, they don't negotiate. China, they don't negotiate.
Negotiate for the salary.
That is why they bring very cheap.
Other things. You need the energy.
Oh yes. You need a job to be there. You must get that enabling environment that you're talking about to make your work work.
Circumstances.
Then the circumstances they create. You see, let me tell you something. If you engage individuals who are in policy on the private and you want to discuss these things, you realize that there is need for everybody, especially those who are the players, to continuously inform them about the situation on the ground. Decision is not taken only by one person, you know, and it has to be a collective effort.
We've been to Senchi, so I hope that.
No, that alone is not enough. It's not a one-day affair.
I'm happy that you're saying that.
It's not a one-day affair. They have to go in. They have to do what I call bankable feasibilities that they present to Parliament. They must do bankable feasibilities.
Because you're in commerce. I mean, all of you have given.
Great.
I believe if we have a common. We are doing this.
I am saying that they only.
In a kind of individual.
He is only interested in accusing me.
And you are only interested in telling him you will not go on. Please don't come here for me. That is, but by the end of this is the kind of picture we have. With the picture displayed here is what we have. Very intelligent, whatever out there. Like he did say, a lot of things on paper. But how do we have a common platform to push the agenda? If this is what Senchi is about, I support it. But I also agree with you. It's not a one-off event. It has to be a system. You understand? So I think this is the fundamental issues we are confronted with. What do you have to say?
For that of Senchi, we are not even invited.
Yeah,
That one is
please you
another
leave it
matter.
there because it's a bigger platform. But then what I'm saying is that because your sector, you hold the bulk of our revenue and whatever. So if we can sanitize there, at least opening the tax net alone, you could even assist. And that is how government should see you as critical role players in our development. If we are not looking at it that way, then we're missing the point because it's key.
We see,
What can you do to help us?
ourselves as
You are doing well already.
stakeholders
Yes.
of
The economy,
Ghana,
yes.
right? So we'll do everything that will move Ghana forward. That is our basic aim.
You're doing well.
We will not do anything that will retrogress the country.
You think you need some more political support or
Not
motivation?
sort of. You don't need to be in politics.
No, when I say politics
you
is
know,
about governance.
yes,
Not the
so
partisan
that
politics
is
I'm talking
yes.
about.
In our own,
should show some
in our
commitment.
own small way.
Yeah.
Government cannot be everywhere.
Yes.
We are in the market,
So when
so
we
we
inform
know
yourselves-
what is in the market.
Yeah.
So what is
Go on.
transpiring in the market is what we try to sell to government.
Okay.
And we believe that government is supposed to, adhere to, more so that
We
they've
just
come,
have a few minutes, so you
more so
just
that
wrap
they've
up.
come.
No,
to
but I
the
want to
mar-
ask him a question
they've
before
come
he
to the
goes.
market,
Supposing
they've come to
there
the
is a Chinatown, there is a Nigerian town, just like a Malcolm in Ghana. Will you be comfortable with it?
Have you asked yourself what goes with Chinatown and Nigeria town and what's not? Do you understand?
I'm saying something like
There's a
Malcolm
lot of-
or like
there's a
Cramon.
lot of advantage. We are already in this thing. Consider a Chinatown at Jamestown.
Okay.
Are already this thing. Do you know what will happen there?
Okay.
Look at the mishaps that will happen at that place. Okay. So that kind of Chinatown, we don't need Chinatown to grow. Ghanaians are capable of doing whatever they are supposed to do.
We'll come to that because
Yes.
the Chinatown kind of thing, it exists in Ghana. If you go to Kumasi, for example, the Ashantis have created enclaves for the Igbe people, for this, and you go there, you see
Thank you.
whatever.
Thank
you. The Igbe people are Ghanaians.
Not the Igbe people, excuse me.
They are
No,
Ghanaians.
It's an element of whatever, Chinatown, that we can still do it. For the Americans are great. And even, excuse me, seriously, the Ashantis have a great empire because they accept everybody and gives you an enclave. Once you are bringing anything, I have to be tribalistic here. Once you are bringing anything good to the Ashantis and thumbs up to the Ashantis, they are ready to welcome you in their midst. Once you are going to contribute to them, and it's something we should all replicate. And that is what is my American great. Let's accept the best from all communities. That is the fact of the issue. So the Chinatown issue.
Not Chinatown.
No, don't be anti-China.
No,
He's afraid. I know that talking about he's afraid.
Let's be realistic.
He's afraid.
Let's be realistic.
We're talking about legitimate business.
They
are talking to legitimate business.
Yes.
Cost of doing business.
Yes.
Interest rate.
Yes.
High inflation. Depreciation of the cedi.
Yeah.
Are you telling me?
Yeah.
If you are going to do business with somebody
Yeah.
or compete with
We're
somebody,
running out of time,
and
so
at the start,
we'll
the
come
person
back, we'll come back.
is somewhere
Yeah.
50%, 50 miles or 100 meters ahead of you.
Yeah.
Can you compete with the person?
It's difficult.
Can you?
Yes, you can-
That's a different issue.
It's
That's
not.
a different.
It's not.
Is it that
is why-
the person's
you are asking me
problem?
Why I don't?
Is that the person's problem?
Okay.
That is why I'm telling you
He's
that
provoking
we
the
don't
issue.
need the
It's a
Chinatown
challenge.
now.
No, we want
don't
Guta.
need it.
We want Guta
We
to
don't
come out
need
with
it. It's a
solutions.
challenge.
We don't need it.
This
It's
is
a
not my
challenge.
platform, but I'm
Yes,
telling you
but
that
hold on.
before you run,
You can wrap up
I
with
want,
this.
I
Thank
want,
you.
I want Guta
Yes.
to come up with solutions.
Okay.
Solutions are
Solutions
They-
as
they
I'm
are
talking
coming up,
about
yes, okay.
bankable
No,
solutions.
let's have a
As
common
to-
platform.
As
No,
to
we'll have a common
how
platform
we
for
can
that.
grow the economy
Yes.
without the involvement of foreigners.
Yes.
We'll let them go away. How we can
It should be
grow
law
it.
abiding if you
The
are
law,
here.
no, even they should all go away. How we can grow the
We
economy
don't want them to
without
go
them.
away.
No, let
That
them
is not
go.
the issue.
That is not the issue.
Yes.
Guta is not saying
Yeah,
that.
that is
Guta,
not- that is-
No, I am saying it. It's not Guta who is saying it. I am the one saying it.
He's on the wrong footing.
No, I am the one. No, don't run away from it. I am saying
Come and
it.
do business.
Legitimate business.
No,
Legitimate business. Yes.
Abide
I
by
am.
the law.
I am. No. No. I am. No. What I am saying is that. What I am saying. I said they have.
Nobody's listening to you. Nobody's listening to both of you.
No,
The
when
Chinese
they say
government-
50
So hold on,
miles
let's
ahead,
finish.
50 years ahead of you,
Yes.
that is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And I am saying that we will take all those who are 50 years ahead of us and let them tell us how we can do without the 50 years
I
ahead
always
of
thought
us.
it was the politicians who make this noise and make my program chaotic, but I didn't know Ghanaians are tougher. You know, they are more political than you thought. Mister,
Yes.
what do you think we should be doing?
We're talking
We're
about-
a lot of blaming government, politicians. You know, just in
The enforcement of the law. See, we are talking about my friend Guta
Just some 1 minute, and we go.
is talking about legitimate business
Yeah.
and level playing field.
Okay,
So,
You don't allow somebody to come through the bush and some other places unknown without paying taxes and all that. And when they come here, they are
So you
supposed
have your
to.
tax force, so you're helping. Once,
Task force.
you're compared with the whatever.
That's why to take another time. So you. But what we're saying is that the laws must apply. I remember when Honorable Hannah Tete was in office. I think she did something to some extent,
yes.
Uh,
and then this thing.
It
But
fizzled off.
if we are able to insist on the application of our laws,
Everybody's talking
this,
about
I mean,
law,
we are
law.
not saying that
I mean, we are all in it.
Nigerians should not come and trade
We're
here.
all not clean.
Chinese people should not come
We
and.
not identify the clean ones.
Or what
We
green?
are all contaminated.
It is the law that should work.
Contaminated.
The law should
We
work.
are fighting for salaries instead of the changing of machines and equipment.
No, this is the law. The law allows that unions should negotiate. That's what the law. Unless you want to repeal the law.
Beyond
But the
that,
law, we are working with the law.
Your livelihood is sustained. And
Yeah.
that your machines are
That was the law.
low, how do you call it, income, energy consumption, all that.
Look, as we speak now, government does not own even 1% interest in any textile industry in this country. They have sold all their interest. But it's another thing.
We'll come back to that. Mr. Mallet, I
Yeah,
think that we need a common platform. We have genuine concerns raised here.
I think we should leave the lamentations out here.
It comes first.
Yes, it comes. We've lamented enough.
Maybe this will be the last one.
We should
Now
stop
that you are here,
lamenting.
the Chinese
We
man
should
is-
no. It's you
Next
see,
time, we bring one of the Chinese people.
yeah, that's fine. We are. You see, the problem about it is that if you talk about issues in Ghana,
Yeah.
you may think Chinese don't have any problem in their own country.
No, we know
They do.
bigger ones.
Yeah,
bigger
but
ones.
if we
Recent
are
times.
talking about issues concerning Chinese in Ghana, I can assure you that nobody, let me put it in his right senses, will want to encourage somebody,
Okay.
especially a foreigner, to come and do or flout the laws of his country. When if he's in his right senses.
So I hope that
So
if
we-
you take
we-
necessary measures,
we
you
do
let
and
them
we
give
continue
them
to do that.
orientation.
That we are doing that, and we will want to engage. See, if like my association, if we understand Guta well,
Yeah.
where they
But you
coming
should make
from.
yourself available.
That is exactly what I'm saying.
Yes.
That-
After this, I
yeah,
think that
yes,
we've created a platform.
yeah. We talk, and that will be continuous talking.
No, it doesn't mean better late than never. Please,
No,
please.
it's not an
No
issue.
accusation.
No,
Let's
yeah,
find a way
that's
forward.
yes, that's
let's
the
go
way
for
forward.
it, yeah.
So all
That
I'm
is what the platform is.
what I'm trying to say is that Guta is, if my statistics may be wrong, will contribute, the traders, they contribute no less than 60% of 80%. I was being modest.
All right.
Yeah, even to the economy itself, even on daily basis. If money must go for buying petrol for government officials, what they collect from the taxes at the port, the duties and others have to go in that. We must recognize them as an entity, a force to grow.
Yeah.
But the point about it is that the issues that they bring to table, I am saying that if you have a good case and you don't present it properly, it will end up being a bad
So you should
case.
help because you're a Ghanaian. So you like.
And I am
you are-
speaking
you are suggesting-
today,
you started-
I am saying that I am not
Hold on.
speaking like,
It doesn't matter. That's just a criticism.
In which way do he wants us to present our
Maybe
case? We are saying
after
that
this, no,
we are saying that
just running up.
we
Maybe
are
after this,
saying
we'll
that-
have that discussion to continue. It will not end here.
Anyway.
And maybe the next time we meet here, it is the way forward. What we have done.
But we
so
support
far.
Guta.
then
We support them 100%
That's
for what they're doing.
expect, yes. So, Mr. Mallet, you can just end on a sound note.
I am saying
The
that.
sound is that next time, let him bring one of the Chinese people here.
I'm not
the,
bring a Nigerian here.
no.
Yes, we would
the-
okay,
the-
then
the
you come.
issue
It
is
is not
no.
compatible. We want solution.
No.
We
Yes,
want a solution.
the Chinese man should come and explain why they are behaving the way they are behaving.
The orientation.
The point here is that this is our country.
Yeah.
That's the only country we have.
That is it. So we must protect it.
So we must protect it and make sure that the right things are done rightly at the right time.
Okay.
And it is not an issue of having confrontation with somebody else.
Yeah.
If a certain area is not working, let us make sure that it will work. I was telling you yesterday, Kashifa had, with my company, had a stakeholders forum on tourism. And we were looking at the problems that exist. And we identified 5 areas. And these 5 areas we identified, which immigration, the immigration, the visa regime, which he was talking about, and other issues, even the culture. We want.
To the embassy, they don't.
I'm coming. You see that there are issues to that.
In future,
So
he has to also raise some of these issues.
Yes,
on your
yeah.
behalf.
So the issue, what we are saying is that we going to have these things here to be written in the feasibility form. The feasibility is written in a bankable feasibility way, so that we can all look at it. And when we are approaching these issues, if you have a problem, you know exactly how to address it, not out of frustration, not that you have to go and demonstrate, you know. And I also appeal to
Demonstration
not only. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's it. Thank you very much. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But no, there's more to do. Because I'm started. No, it's not only going to the highest point of the land, but going to make sure that you get the right solutions. That is the issue. But what I'm saying about the ICU also is that
Not ICU. Textiles, we are going on demonstration very soon.
you go. I will come and join you. But the point I'm trying to make here is that they should also look. It was using the word enabling environment.
I used it.
You use it. Sorry.
Yeah.
But if you haven't created that enabling environment, how do you expect it? Because
Who should create? Who should create?
You.
labor.
Labor should create it.
Yes.
How? Then why do we hold elections? Why do you elect people to live as in this country?
Let me ask you a simple question. Do you know
I've just run out of this. I've just run out of this one.
So the government is supposed to put out.
I've run out of time. It's been a very hearty, and there's been a lot of revelation on this platform. The accusations, counter accusations, and all that has been very, very. This is where we have to start from. But at the end of it all, I think we all accept that we need a platform, effective communication, tidy up the ideas, and see what we can do for ourselves before even the involvement of the major stakeholders, perhaps the politicians, as you claim. So that when all these things are put on their desk, if they are unable to, then collectively, you can just crack the whip on their back. Okay. If you agree with me, then would I say thank you to my audience. Unfortunately, I could not pick the rest of your WhatsApp messages because I was so much engaged here. Next week, I will not commit such a mistake. Do forgive me. But before, let me acknowledge my sponsors, Gold Coast Fund Management, First National Service Loans, and Coconut Grove Hotel. Thank you very much. And like we always do it is loud and clear, very real. You know, that is how we do it here on the banner. I'm sorry, perhaps sometimes it's quite noisy, but that is how it is here. Your contribution are always welcome. Next time around, let it come in earlier. Thank you. My name is Eksha Mgono, and I have been talking to Mr. Please introduce yourself, Mr. Abraham
Kumsin.
Yeah, Mr. Mallet, and then I have Mr. Richard Amamu. He is Director of Protocol. On this note, bye-bye. Make same time with us next week.
Looking for a venue for your wedding reception, conferences and retreats, outside catering, recreation? Look no further than Coconut Grove Beach Resort Hotel, located in Elmina. Coconut Grove Hotels, memories worth repeating.
The sun is up, spirits high, people everywhere. Yeah. The food is good, the wine is fine, people getting high. Yeah. Mama here, Papa there, the whole gang too. Yeah. Everybody's dancing, celebrating all night long. Celebration, jubilation, come together. All together. Celebration.
officials of government, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. My word is to tell you why we're here, and for everything there's a beginning. And I should say that it all started when I paid a visit to the former Economic and Commercial Counselor of the Chinese Embassy in Accra a few years back. And at the time that Ghanaians were concerned about the imbalance in trade between Ghana and the People's Republic of China, which until today weighs heavily.
Looking for a venue for your wedding reception, conferences and retreats, outside catering, recreation? Look no further than Coconut Grove Beach Resort Hotel, located in Elmina. Coconut Grove Hotels, memories worth repeating.
International news, Parliament, Cinemax African movies, Sports 24, Emmanuel TV, GTV, CNN, Al Jazeera, Planet Kids for Kids, and many other channels.
Fast Digital.